Hello, my name is Nani Capistran and this is my first ever YouTube video. I'm so excited. For today, I wanted to make a list of basically like college essentials, college necessities that you would need if you're living in a dorm or maybe your first ever apartment. I wanted to make a list because I feel like this is something that I needed when I went to college. It's been 1 year since I graduated college. I made a really long list, so I'm excited to share. I had a really interesting living experience. I went to UT Austin, so hook 'em. I was a transfer student, and so I already had like kind of like a little bit more knowledge of things that like my friends had told me, things that I had seen online, and so I think I went pretty well prepared. But even though I felt prepared because I was like, okay, like I'm a sophomore, like I kind of know what I'm doing, I didn't really feel like I knew what I was doing because my living situation was really weird. I was living with like, it was like 6 girls in one apartment. It was crazy. It was insane. So I definitely have like my fair share of like weird experiences, like living experiences, just because it was such a crowded apartment. And then my second apartment, so much better, so much cleaner. But even then, like, you know, you're living away from home. It's like, it's scary, it's daunting. So I really want to make you feel at peace if this is your first time living away from home. I made a really good list of things that you might need that I've heard from friends, that I experienced myself. First thing on the list, microwavable plates. I didn't have an issue with this. I bought microwavable plates, but I know that this would be a really big deal if you don't even think about this and you just go off and buy a plate and put it in the microwave, not knowing that whether or not it's microwavable or not, and then cause an accident. So make sure that the plates, the mugs that you're buying are microwavable safe. If not, you might cause an accident in your dorm, in your apartment, and we don't want that. So if you're buying any sort of glassware, anything, make sure it's safe to put in the microwave. And also another thing is, if you can, buy paper plates. If you don't want to do a lot of dishes, this is what I would do. I would buy paper plates sometimes because it was just so much easier. Just if you don't want to deal with the hassle of doing dishes all of the time, it's so quick and easy. Another thing is a microwave. I ended up having to buy a microwave my first year because when I got to the apartment, the microwave was just very worn out. I think this would really depend on your own specific situation. You might already have an apartment that has a microwave. I don't know what your dorm situation would be if you can't even have a microwave in there. Make sure that you have a microwave. Also a hot plate. If you don't have a stove in your apartment or in your dorm, get a hot plate. It's really good. Third one, also on the kitchen section, a rice steamer, rice cooker. So good. Air fryer, rice steamer, rice cooker. Next one, I'm not even gonna count them because I think I'm gonna lose count. A Brita. You need a Brita. Get a big Brita. Oh my god, get a big Brita. Something that maybe will fit in your mini fridge. Get a big Brita, please, because you're not gonna fill it up and your roommate's not gonna fill it up. So get a big Brita. And clean your Brita, because you do need to clean your Brita. Remember that. And on top, like talking about water filters, get a water filter for your shower. I didn't need to do this, but I would recommend looking at the water quality of where you're moving and get a water filter, because especially if they're older dorms, an older apartment. I know a lot of people who had to get a water filter. You just put it on your shower head and it makes things so much better because you're moving to a new environment, so your hair is not going to be used to the water quality. Just get a water filter. I think it's such a good purchase. Next one, I'm going to say a shower caddy, because this is another one that I didn't personally use because I wasn't in a dorm, but if you're sharing bathrooms with people, oh my god, you're going to need one. Because you're going to be bringing that in and out. If you're in a communal bathroom, you're going to need a shower caddy. And on top of that, get shower shoes. A bath mat as well. Get a bath mat. Also, small trash cans. You cannot forget a small trash can. I feel like those are like the little things that people forget. If you are in an apartment, you have your own room, and you're thinking like, I have a big fridge, I don't need a mini fridge. There were so many times where I wish I would have gotten a mini fridge. I think in my second apartment where I was with a smaller group of girls, I didn't really need it because we had a better organization system going on, and then there was just less girls. It was 4 of us, so I didn't really need the mini fridge. I was like, you know, more used to living with other people, so we were good. But when it was 6 of us, I really wish I would have had that mini fridge. And there was one girl who did have one in that situation, and I know that she was doing so much better because she didn't have that much stuff in our fridge, and it helped a lot. Walkable shoes. Get walkable shoes. A good pair of sneakers. Oh my god. Or just shoes that you can really walk in, because you're gonna be walking a lot on campus. I got On Brands when I was at UT, and they were really good. They've lasted me a really long time. I still have them. But get a good cushiony shoe that you can walk in for a long time. Also, on that topic, get a good school bag. I got a tote bag. I use a Lacoste tote, and that one is perfect. But I also, I think in college I used I just used like a Target tote bag that I got for like, I think it was like $20 or $30. And it literally worked perfectly. Like, you don't need to buy like a Coach tote bag. You don't need to buy something super expensive. It's like $200. Like, no, you can literally go to Target, buy like $20 bag, or get like a grocery bag. It's fine. A fan. Get a fan. You don't know how well your AC is gonna work in your dorm. You don't know how well your AC is gonna work in your apartment. Get a fan, even like a mini fan, something to hold you over. And on that note, also a heater. Get both. And this is also something that I learned from my mom. Get a sleeping bag. I didn't personally use mine, or like something to like keep you warm, but I know that especially if you're living in a place with like a tough winter, a sleeping bag or like a really, really tough blanket, something for the winter basically. You think you're not going to use it, you think it's going to be a hassle, but when the time comes, it's going to be really handy to have. I luckily never had to use it, but it's good to have. Another thing that you should get, a little bedside caddy. Oh my god. I wish I would have had this, but ever since I discovered it, I think it's like the perfect invention, because especially if you're like in a little tight space and you have a little caddy by your bed, this is perfect. You can put like your glasses there, you can put like your like textbook there, your notebook, whatever you need to study with, your laptop, whatever, however big your bedside caddy is, I don't know. But this is perfect. This is such a good invention. I would recommend getting this, especially if you're in a tight space. So good. We all know like the living situations are gonna be really tight. You're probably not gonna have a really big closet. I luckily didn't have to share a closet with anyone, but I know a lot of people have to share closets in college. So I would recommend those like space-saving hangers. I don't know if you've ever seen them. I'll try to insert a pic as well. I'm gonna try to insert a pic of everything. I don't know why I keep on saying that. But yeah, there's space-saving hangers where they're like stacked up. Get those. Those are so good. Like, I think in college I would just, even when I like had my own closet, I didn't use those because I just like double stacked up my clothes, but I wish I had those because they would have saved me so much space. It would have been perfect. Get the large plastic bags from IKEA. I have the ones from like, I think they're from Target, and they're literally just so you can move all your stuff. You can put all of your clothes in there. They're perfect. They're so perfect. I don't know where my mom got them, but I know that like I've seen the IKEA ones. They make moving so easy, especially because you'd be doing so much moving in college. I swear that's like all I was doing. You're gonna have to move winter break and then summer, and it's like you're constantly moving. You're constantly putting your clothes in bags. So just get those big bags. Just do it. And it makes everything so quick and easy. Like you're literally stuffing your entire life in those bags. Like every 4 months, stuff it back in the bag, take it out. It's a constant, but it makes things so easy. It's so worth it. So get some of those, get like 3 of those, and you'll be set. Okay? A good umbrella. Don't get a cheap umbrella. It will break. And I don't even think it really rains that much where I'm at, but like my umbrella broke so quickly and I never got a new one and I regretted it. So get a good umbrella. Get like good clothes for the weather that you're gonna be living in, please. Earplugs and an eye mask. Even if you know the person that, like, if you're sharing a room, even if you're not sharing a room, honestly, if you're like, you're probably gonna be in a dorm or like in an apartment and there's gonna be people around you, even in the floor above you or below you, whatever. Earplugs and an eye mask. People are throwing parties, you're in college, your roommates might throw a party. Your roommate might really like to put on music to study at night and she likes to sing along to it. Whatever the case is, and maybe you're like, you know what, like they're not doing any harm, but I just really need to go to sleep right now. Get some earplugs, get an eye mask, noise canceling headphones, but it will save you some sleep. Just trust me, you're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. Command hooks. I feel like that's an obvious one. You're not gonna be able to damage the walls, so get command hooks. Pepper spray and a taser, especially if you're a girl. I luckily never had to use my pepper spray, thank God, but I swear I had that thing on hand all of the time. And that's all of the essentials that I have for now. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and go check out my Instagram and my TikTok. I post on TikTok every single day. So if you like this content, go check out my TikTok and go check out my Instagram and subscribe. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!